To begin, it's important to understand what fiat money is. Fiat money is currency that a government has declared to be legal tender, but it is not backed by a physical commodity. The value of fiat money is derived from the relationship between supply and demand rather than the value of the material that the money is made of. Here's a brief outline on this topic's structure, including exact numbers in a story about calculating the total amount of fiat money in the world presents several challenges, primarily because the amount of fiat money in circulation is a constantly changing figure and varies greatly from one country to another. Additionally, different measures of money supply, like M1, M2, etc., M1, M2, and M3, are measurements of the United States money supply, known as the money aggregates. M1 includes money in circulation plus checkable deposits in banks. M2 includes M1 plus savings deposits, less than $100,000, and money market mutual funds. M3 includes M2 plus large-time deposits in banks include different components of what is considered money, from physical cash to more liquid assets. However, some ballpark figures and examples to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about. Please note that these figures would be approximate and subject to change. United States dollar, USD, the total M1 money supply, which includes physical currency, demand deposits, and other liquid deposits, in the United States was about $19.4 trillion as of late 2023. Euro, EUR. The Eurozone's M1 money supply was approximately EUR 12 trillion, around $14 trillion USD in 2023. British pound, GBP. The United Kingdom's M1 money supply was around plus 2.7 trillion, approximately 3.7 trillion USD in 2023. Japanese yen, JPY. Japan's M1 money supply stood at about Y1,950 trillion, approximately 9.5 trillion USD in 2023. Chinese yuan, CNY. China's M1 money supply was approximately Y60 trillion, around 9.4 trillion USD in 2023. When adding these numbers together, you get a rough figure of over $56 trillion USD for just these 5 major currencies. This doesn't include the money supply of other countries, or the broader measures of money supply like M2 and M3, which are significantly larger as they include savings accounts, time deposits, and other types of financial assets. These figures can be used as a starting point in your story to illustrate the vastness of the global fiat money supply. You can build the narrative around a character or a group of characters exploring these numbers and understanding the complexity and enormity of the world's financial systems. Incorporating figures for derivatives and counterparty exposures into a narrative about the total amount of money in the world, including fiat currencies, introduces a layer of complexity as the derivatives market is vast and somewhat opaque. Derivatives are financial contracts whose value is linked to the performance of underlying assets, indices, or interest rates. They can include futures, options, swaps, and other complex financial instruments. The value of these derivatives can be extremely high, but it's important to understand that this value doesn't represent money in the traditional sense, but rather the potential future value of these contracts. Global derivatives market size. The notional value of the global derivatives market was estimated to be in the quadrillions of dollars. For instance, the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, reported the notional amount of over-the-counter, OTC, derivatives markets at about $600 trillion in 2023. Counterparty risk. This refers to the risk that one party in a transaction might not fulfill their part of the financial contract. In derivatives, this risk can be substantial, given the large amounts and complex nature of these contracts. Financial crisis connection. The story could discuss how derivatives, particularly credit default swaps and mortgage-backed securities, were at the heart of the 2008 financial crisis, illustrating the potential risks associated with these financial instruments. Regulatory challenges. A narrative can explore how regulators and financial institutions attempt to manage and mitigate the risks associated with derivatives, including the use of central clearing parties and increased capital requirements. Economic impact. Discussing how derivatives can be both beneficial for hedging risks and problematic, potentially leading to systemic risks, would provide a balanced view of these financial instruments. Combining these, we have a total of approximately $656 trillion USD. Let's imagine we're converting all this to $1 USD bills for our example. To find out how much area 656 trillion in one bills would cover, we first calculate the total volume. Let's calculate this volume and then figure out how deep this would cover the Earth's land surface area, which is about 57.51 million square miles. We'll convert everything to a more understandable unit, like feet or meters. Let's imagine we're converting all this to $1 USD bills for our example. 1. A 1 bill measures 261 inches wide, 614 inches long, and 0.43 inches thick. To find out how much area 656 trillion in 1 bills would cover, we first calculate the total volume. Let's calculate this volume and then figure out how deep this would cover the Earth's land surface area, which is about 57.51 million square miles. We'll convert everything to a more understandable unit, like feet or meters. The total volume of 656 trillion in 1 bills would be approximately 45.2 trillion cubic inches, or about 2616 billion cubic feet. When spread evenly over the Earth's land surface area, approximately 57.51 million square miles, this vast amount of money would cover the land to a depth of about 3 feet deep, or approximately 944 meters. The entire worlds of money would cover the Earth's surface to the depth of a man's waist deep. This endless amount of money means that Bitcoin's 21 million tokens is guaranteed to increase in value.